First, you get the final countdown stuck in my head, and then you get me chuckling right as the stream starts, Eric. Thank you. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. All right. The idiot show is here. Hey, Ken, Chase, Eric. The Tid father will not be here tonight. Um, Last I heard from him was last night, and they had a big trip planned today that well, I planned for them. So yeah, they're off doing their own thing. Although you never know. Todd could be on his way back. Um, he could have maybe never went. It's Todd. The trip was like a god. It'd probably be, oh, I would say close to like a 500-mile round trip or so driving. So he's likely going to be gone for most of the day. He's going to be heading up to the Olympic Peninsula and checking out Crescent Lake, which is the deepest lake in the United States, and then heading up towards the Solduck Hot Springs, which are a natural hot springs right in the middle of the Hoh Rainforest. So pretty cool. Um, Ken wants to know if we get to see some titty tonight. Definitely going to be giving that a star. Thank you. How did dinner go last night? Ken asks. Dinner went great. It was, the crew was like Todd obviously is a bit of a spectacle just because of how huge he is. But basically got to show him around the restaurant, made a pizza. He loved the food. What else? Had a great conversation. Obviously, we took some photos, and then yeah, beyond that, it was kind of a quiet night. They went home. They've had a really busy couple of days, so but overall, it was fun. Just I don't know. It was cool having Todd sitting right here, building things on my workbench. He thought it was a pretty cool space, which I thought was a pretty cool compliment. So yeah, that was how last night went. Um, Todd and I may or may not see each other for the rest of the trip. It all depends on kind of how things go. Today was a very long road trip. He's going to be home probably late tonight, and then tomorrow they're going to Victoria, British Columbia, and they're going to be back probably around 10. That's not too late for me, so there's a chance that I might see him tomorrow. If not, then possibly on Saturday we might try to go see Deadpool. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. But I just happen to live here, and it was cool getting to see Todd, but he did not come to see me. Got to meet Rebecca. She was amazing. The two of them are really cool together, and they're a pretty cool couple. And it was just a lot of fun. Just once again, they continue on with that friendship that we've created with the streams and that really got forged at Wonderfest, which was pretty cool. So, ah, good evening, Andrew. Ah, nice. The kids must be behaving tonight. Watching while I fill in yet more 650D windows. Well, my friend, enjoy that smell. Make sure to not look directly into the light. That's the plan. Like the movies, Ken asks, "Are we going to the movies?" That's the plan. I mean, I once again, like I am not super big on like making hardcore plans. I'm going to relish the opportunity for a couple of days off work. If Todd and I happen to cross paths, then cool. But we'll see. We'll see. It's one of those things where I want to make sure that him and Rebecca have a good time because this is their trip. So, oh, the kids are away at the in-laws, Andrew says. So extra build time. Fantastic news. Love it. Well, and two, like also as well, because shit happens. Exactly, Eric. They've had a bit of a rough start to their trip. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I talked to my buddy Bird, who will occasionally pop into the streams. He where Todd is staying is at the same tribe that my brother happens to be the head grant writer for. So I kind of reached out and said, "Hey, man, what can we do for Todd?" And so I'm hoping that around 7:30 or so tonight, I'm going to hear back from him, and he's going to be like, "Yeah, we're going to be sending him with a bunch of cool coupons." So that's what I'm hoping for, because Todd has had a bit of a go at it, and for all the things that he does for all of us within Hobby Time Modelers, and for everyone else, like I mean, mypartworks.com, like he gets a ton of views, and like the work that he does is a godsend for all of us who build partworks. And so to try to hook him up with something cool would also be really cool for me too. So yeah, that's enough about that. If Todd does text, my phone is right here. So if Todd does text and says, "Hey," then of course we'll welcome in. It was really cool, by the way, having him like actually do the no blink mod on my model. And I have to snag some of that footage off the stream so I can like throw that into an episode. So, hey Dash, how's it going? Howard, how are you doing tonight? Oh, did you? All right. All right. So in Discord, my favorite gift to use in response to a WTF moment. I've always wondered what that scene is from, and I think Dash may have found out. So please inform the room. Well, tonight I'm planning on streaming till probably just before 7 o'clock. Didn't really have a whole like now, when I created the Dockyard stream, the little banner right here, um, the idea was that, I had a bunch of models that I wanted to fix, and I figured it was going to take time and all of those things. And, I fixed all my models in the last episode. So what do we do? And I got to say that this model is an amazing model and a lot of fun to build, but it just takes so much damn time to do the green strawberry work. And so, why not hang out and do some green strawberry work tonight? Kind of review what we've done so far, kind of take a look and kind of get building. I have done some work. I'm hoping to basically get all of the assemblies together tonight for basically the next part of the cargo bay mod. If you guys haven't been watching the series, I'm using the green strawberry cargo mod or the full fruit pack from green strawberries. So I happen to be a fortunate. Let's go ahead and switch cameras up here. I got the full fruit pack on a sponsor. This is my first ever sponsor from Green Strawberry themselves in exchange for creating the series and taking this Wonderfest eventually. And so, with that being said, this is a ton of work, ton of fiddly work that I am just not super like. Lincoln log fingers do not make well for photo etch work. Let's just say that. So, Andrew, I just saw that comment. Yes, it does. It actually looks like one of those rental boxes we would get from the VHS stores. And then Also the rental boxes from the room in the back of the VHS stores back in the day. Anyway, moving on. Oh, it's Blink 182. I thought so. So it's from the song First Date, the video. Hey, Steven, how's it going? Awesome, dude. Nice job. Love it. Probably wasn't that hard to figure it out, but still, very nice job. I love it. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look what we've done so far. I have painted this thing. It was a really nice paint job, I actually feel. It has been done with a dull coat over the top of it right now, so it's not as shiny as it could be. But I've used the AK Extreme metals on this. Paint job went on really, really nice. God, that was a long time ago now at this point. Now, let's see what we can kind of see inside. We have Mando's bedroom and his bathroom completed. In the last episode, I created the ladder that goes up to the cockpit, and then let's go and switch over to this camera. And if you look the Razor Crest, we created that little entryway piece. We weathered up the pieces, the resin themselves, to make it look like metal, and you can kind of catch a little bit of that on the inside there. So fully painted, all done. What needs to be done now for the back part of the cargo bay is we need to assemble a bunch of the sections of the wall, and those sections of the wall happen to be the toughest thing that I've ever done in modeling so far. So let's go ahead and show you what that is. And to be honest with you, I didn't screw it up, and I am really kind of delightfully surprised by that. And the first thing we're going to be doing today is taking some of our Mr. Metal Primer R, and we're going to be priming up our photo etch that I did. My God. My God. Okay. So this camera is actually good for this. These are, focus up. There it is. These are the wall like racks in the back of the Razor Crest. So they would fit in. This one fits in like right here, basically. So let me just go ahead and set that in there. Fits in right there. There's a smaller piece. Fell over. There's a smaller piece that sits in front. Let's go ahead and switch over to the top camera. So that one fits in right there. There's a smaller piece that fits up front, which is going to be that one. Or I forgot my cameras there. These ones. That one's going to fit in there. And then there's an angled piece as well that is one of the more difficult pieces to do. Oh, that actually, good question, Dash. I have done some lighting. I'll actually go ahead and review everything that we've done so far. But basically, this took me like there's 6 of these little pieces, and it took me like probably 3 hours to assemble them. So yeah, and I didn't mess anything up. I was really surprised. They give you a jig to use, a photo etch jig, but the jig sits at an angle, and so when you're trying to like fit the bars, it just kind of they all slide down, and it was impossible. So, also as well, I created 8 of these ridiculous tiny little wall sconces that I could have lit up if I wanted to, but I'm going to choose. I'll explain how I'm going to do the lighting for this model here in just a moment. So these little sconces that are the actual lighting for the inside of the Razor Crest, and there are 8 of those in there, and I got them all ready to go. So these need to be all primed, and then my goal tonight is to get at least minimum get these primed and get them sprayed with our gunmetal. So I don't really have big aspirations for the stream. Kind of just want to chat, talk, just kind of whatever. Like I'm not trying to do too much tonight. Just trying to hang out and have some fun. So yes, Dash, I have done, to answer your question, I have done some lighting on this. This is going to be a fully lit kit. And that is why I wasn't able to, between the photo etch and then the complex nature of the lighting of this model that I'm going to be doing, it's why I wasn't able to bring it to Wonderfest. It was just I was trying to get it done. And in hindsight, I probably could have, but it's a lot of work. And I just didn't give myself enough time, didn't prioritize enough. But whatever, on that, at this point, I'm kind of like over it. But it was the lighting. I was like starting to compromise on the choices that I was going to be making with the model. And I just couldn't do that. I really wanted to do this model justice, especially because Green Strawberry hooked me up with like a $400 fruit pack. Like, I can't like forget that. And so I want to do a good job. And so that being said, I chose not to short myself or them or you or anybody. So I kind of slowed down a little bit and took the Slave One instead, which I'm proud of. I took an award home on that one, so I'm really pleased. So for my lighting, what I did, this is probably episode maybe 5 or 6 of the series for the Razor Crest. I did custom engine lighting for this, along with the full Green Strawberry mod. So I'll give you guys a look at the engine pod here. The Green Strawberry mod for this one involves this piece right here, which is a resin inset. I have not installed the photo etch on here, but it is the flaps that you can see open on the front there. So it has flaps to give the impression that the engines are cooling. This is also like an air brake sort of look. And then if you see just below there, you see this photo etch piece right here. These are also, they included VTOL thrusters on there. So there are the VTOL thrusters. That also has a piece of photo etch that needs to be installed. I'm not going to be installing any of the photo etch until the assembly process. As well, they have the rear, the cone in the back, the bell. I'm not quite sure exactly what this is called, but all of this is a custom clear resin piece in the back. These were all separate individual little pieces that were installed to create the engine, and then I created a custom lighting effect using one solid or a red 5 millimeter solid LED, red LED, and then surrounding that, I have as Ken likes to call it, the bouquet of 4 flickering yellow LEDs, basically the candle LEDs, and it gives it a really cool effect. And so let's go ahead and power up my power supply here. I've done some cool work with some nacelles with Star Trek, but I think this is probably my best work on engines of any kind. I'm really proud of the work. The paint job turned out really, really good. I also took some of the all clad jet exhaust and I sprayed the ends here. And then I'm going to be taking that. Obviously, we're going to be weathering the hell out of these things, but I do really feel that this is some of the best work that I've done. If I'm going to toot my own horn on my own stream, so I might as well. You guys can't do anything other than stop watching, which is also fine, I guess. All right. And oh yeah, super satisfying. And there it is. So yeah, that's a really cool effect. I'm really pleased with it. Let's try to. I could probably get both of them lit up at the same time. Let's go ahead and try that. Let's read some comments real fast. Oh yeah, I can't. Thank God for ad blocker. Well, not ad blocker. I pay for premium. I'm just an idiot and I can't help myself. Eric is saying every time Mando, those stupid Mando deodorant commercials pop in the head since YouTube pushes the hell out of it. Yeah. Green Strawberry's logo is pretty cool. Part of it, they gave me a huge stack of stickers, so I'll be including those with some of the sticker packs I'll be handing out here soon. Just waiting for, I think tomorrow, actually, the big shipment's arriving of all my stickers. Nice catch. Let's try not to do that standing up because I'm an idiot. Yeah, well, that was also the thing too, Howard. So Dash is saying that's going to be the delicate to take to Wonderfest. Wrap it in tissue. I'm actually going to probably. I talked with Ian a little bit about this beforehand. I think I'm going to ship it to Ian using Pirate Ship um, beforehand and have him drive it out to Wonderfest. So I've contemplated driving to Wonderfest a couple times, but man, it's like 2,700 miles one way, and Kat is definitely not coming with me on that trip. So unless I could pick up the Tude Father, so there are both of the engines lit up. Yeah, really good look. I really do. I'm proud of this. I can't wait to see these on the ship and when it gets there. Um, yeah, really good look. The plan for the lighting, I'll go ahead and leave these sitting up so we can all point them maybe towards the camera. Maybe, maybe. There we go. I'll just you stay there. The plan for the lighting for this is going to be fairly. What was going to be complicated is now not going to be complicated, uh, but delicate, so to say. So in the front, right here, there are two small ports, and my compressor's going in the background, so I apologize for any of the extra noise. There are two small ports right here, and these are red on the show. I'm not quite sure what they're supposed to be. They're not weapons, but I think they're just like small, like formation lights, something like that, nav lights. I'm not quite sure. But these are clear or not clear, but hollow, and we can run some fiber optics. So I'm going to be running a fiber optic wire or fiber optic down, two of them down into each one of those. And then back behind here, and it's going to be kind of hard to see, but right above that little, right here, right above the net, there is a place for light to come through. And so I'm going to go pick up one of those, some of those light pads that like what Donnie uses. And we're going to use that to light up Mando's bedroom. And then from there, it's going to be a very simple process for the cargo bay. I thought, let's go ahead and find the resin piece. So this one has all of the photo etch. This one has all the the resin pieces. So for as much as I've installed, there's still all of this and all of those photo etch sets still to go to install on this ship. So it's quite insane. Like I've done the engines, I've done the VTOL thrusters, I've done most of the cargo bay. The cargo stuff is in here, which we're going to try to get to a little bit of today. This is a deep, deep, deep fruit pack. So let's find. So this bag, I like how they do it. They keep all the different fruit packs, the different parts of themselves bagged up individually. And so here's one of the pieces that we're going to work with today. This is the next set of archways that we're going to be creating. Each one of the archways does have a number on it pressed in. Their green strawberries photo etch is a little thin for my taste. I do prefer paragraphics. I'll be real. I told Green Strawberry that I was going to be very honest with them. I'm not going to shill. I'm going to be very honest with them about their parts, and their photo etch is beautiful. They do an amazing job, but the photo etch is just a little too thin for my liking. But their resin parts are just out of control, like high quality detail. And the lights that we could use for screen correct are those little bulbs right there. Focus up, maybe. There it is. With a little wire attached to it. And that's not happening. Sorry. I am not that good. I'm still early on. I know what my limitations are, and that is definitely one of them. I can work with fiber optics. What I am not good at working with right now is resin pieces and drilling them. And so um one of the things that we're going to have to look at, is how we're going to light that. And so the idea is like this archway is going to go in roughly about here is where that one's going to go, without the block sitting on top. And then from there, it's just going to be those grates that I just showed you along the wall. Basically, there's not a whole lot of room for light. And so what my thought is like this piece here, for instance, this is the roof. This is going to sit down over the top like this. And what I want to do right here and in two spots, like this one, I want to be pointing straight down. And those are going to, what I'm saying by that, I want to do a 0402 SMD pointing down right here. And then I want to do one 0402 SMD pointing down right here. And then right about here in the middle of the plate, I want to have another 0402 SMD pointing this way. So that basically, like, I could go screen accurate, but I'd likely to mess up the pieces and all of that. But basically, I just want you to be able to look inside the model from this perspective and just see light, right? And I know that that may be taking it a little bit of a way out, but I also do know what my limitations are, and I don't want to do it. I'm going to be real. The level of detail in this model, I've got a whole plan for a diorama for it, and so the focus is not going to be so much on the internal details as the whole kit and the whole process, the whole not the process, but the whole display of the model itself. And so that's what I'm going to be doing for the internal lighting on the cargo bay. And then from there, what we're going to be doing in the cockpit, and this was posted, I can't remember who posted it. It may have been Ken, it may have been someone else in Discord. They basically posted, or I think it was Ian actually, posted in Discord that that someone used UV paint to do their controls inside the cockpit, and just use the UV light to kind of create the lighting for that. It's something that I'm considering. I have also looked into a couple of the other. It's too bad Shapeways is gone, you guys. It really is. Um, Steven, yes, absolutely. It would just cost me a couple of extra forever stamps. Go ahead and do I have? I don't. I should actually create this and put it up so I can put it in my put it up on the screen. But the best way to contact me, you can actually go to my YouTube page and find my email. But it's just aligning the stars, all one word, with the letters YT for YouTube. So aligning the stars, YT@gmail.com. Go ahead and send me your postage or your postal address, and I will go ahead and get them sent off to you. I would love to send you some stickers. Absolutely. But yeah, so that's kind of the UV lighting is the idea how I want to kind of approach the cockpit. With Shapeways going away, some of the options for the clear resin pieces. I don't have a 3D printer. Obviously, there are many 3D printers out there. So I'm going to try to locate some of the STL files that I might be wanting and see what we can do about getting them created. For the clear pieces for the cockpit so I can get it lit up properly. The resin pieces that they gave us for the cockpit, and that is going to be not that one. It's going to be this one. The console pieces for the cockpit are impossibly small, and I've seen the way that the look of the UV light, the way it works. I think it's just fine. So I think that's going to be the plan for it. Obviously, we have the custom lighting on the engines. I'll find other places where I can possibly do it, but there's going to be a whole diorama for this model. And so I'll be very glad to kind of share that idea as we go a little bit forward. But needless to say, I'll just say this. I have picked up two mecha kits that are like construction loader things that look like from things from other planets. And the idea is that Mando and Grogu are chilling off to the side. So there's going to be a ramp that comes down from over here. So like the ramp's going to come down from right here. There's still feet that we have to attach to it and stuff like that. So they'll be right. The ramp will be coming down. Mando and Grogu will be sitting on some like cargo crates right here. and then back behind, I want to try to create a bit of a, there's going to be a ramp coming out the back of the Razor Crest as well, and I want to have some some droids or something like that, taking some of the carbonite pieces, which is it these ones? No. Ah, yes, it's gonna be this one. Is it? No, that's the card. Nope, 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 nope. It's this one. So there are 4 of them. Let's see. Let's try to find one that might be a little recognizable. Who's that? I don't know who that is. Sorry. I dig through a bag. You guys can hear me rustling and fat arms moving. Nothing else happening. Okay. So let's try to get this to focus up. This is actually kind of hilarious. So in carbonite, that's an Ewok. Isn't that cool? There's a Ewok. Oh God, I'm ashamed that I can't think of the name of the Trando. No, not a Trandojan. I can't think of the name of the. Oh, it's escaping me. But oh God, sorry. The guys with the big bug eyes on the sides of their heads. Looks like a human. Man. There we go. And is there one more? There is one more. I think it's a Rhodian. And I was right. Come on. This camera never wants to like focus in the same exact spot. And a Rhodian. So there's 4 of these little guys, and the idea would be that there's some droids or some sort of alien species unloading all of the different bounties that Grogu and Mando have taken care of. So that's the long play. But first, I actually got to build this damn thing first. And so, I could sit here and like dream about what I want to do later about other models that I want to build for this model. I don't know. I don't know. I'm an idiot. Says the guy who's got way too many things going on. All right. So, needless to say, I digress. What else have I done for this before we move on? Oh, I can grab one more thing real quick. And that is going to be. Actually, we'll bust out. Put that there. What we have are this is going to be the weapons mod. So the cannons mod for the Razor Crest. And there they are. And this was like probably 10 or so individual pieces that were put together. This was painted. Obviously, we have the AK Extreme Metal on the outside there. But then this was painted in gunmetal, and then I took a little bit of the AK Extreme Metal at the very end to kind of give a sort of heat blasted pattern on the end of the cannons there. So let's go ahead and see. I'll show you from this side what this one looks like. There we go. A little bit of the photo etch bent there. Surprise, surprise. Get that installed. I'll just go ahead and put one in because they're kind of a pain in the butt to get in and out. But there is the weapons mod. Let's go ahead and that looks like there. Looks pretty badass. Pretty pleased with how that turned out. So yeah, there's still so much more to do. Like the amount of crap that we're going to be stuffing into this model is kind of insane. So yeah, that's where I'm at with things. So after all of the digression, all of the digresses, let's go ahead and move on to getting our photo edge primed and then do a little bit of painting as soon as that's dry. So let's get that off to the side. And I came home last night from dinner and oh, nice, Steven. You hit me up on Facebook. Perfect. I love it. Love it. I came home from dinner and I like literally left right in the middle of the perfect grade stream. And so like there was just this pile of crap everywhere that I had to clean up. It was hilarious. Okay. So let's grab a towel. I thought I had one that was nearby. I think I can just probably use paper towel. Yeah, that's fine. Let's use some paper towel. And we're going to go ahead and bust out primer. And we're going to prime our pieces. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. Look at this stupid thing. Insanity. Insanity. Yeah, it's got a bit of a curve to it, as you can see there. And how it went into place was there, each one of these center bars has a little groove that those little up and down ones. Wow, Jordan. the, the ones that go vertical, they line into place. Like I said, there was a little jig that they gave you, and let's see if I have it. I do. And what they do is they give it to you so that it sits. Let's see if we can kind of set it up on its side. Oh God, this is awful. So try to show it like that, maybe. Yeah. So it sits up on an angle, and so you couldn't like get anything to actually stay in place. It was so stupid. It was so stupid. So I somehow managed to do this by hand with these big stupid Lincoln log fingers. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I got lucky, I guess. All right, let's grab a pair of tweezers here, and I'm gonna try to just hold it in the spot where I can like paint most of this with the primer without having to hold it in a bunch of different places. And I'm just grabbing a big brush. Nothing crazy. And if you don't know what the metal primer does, something that I've only just recently learned, it does a couple things for your models. It preserves the metal so it doesn't rust, and it's a primer. So it provides a great surface for the paint to land on. This stuff was so hard to find. I know that Tamiya has a version of it. There are some things that I really like Tamiya for, but this is by far what I've heard is the best rated um, metal primer. So I looked far and wide. I couldn't find it. And then I ordered from Spray Gunner. Oh, what was it called? Oh, I can't even pronounce it. It's like a gray primer that will also work for this. And then I just happened to go to my Hobby Town to pick up some Tamiya paints or something like that. And I look in the Mr. Color area, and sure as shit, there was a bottle of it. And so it's too late to cancel the order from Mr. Primer R, but I've actually, or not, excuse me, from Spray Gunner. It was too late to cancel it, but I've actually used that stuff in some other applications, and it's been a great primer to use in like thinner applications, which I've found. So, however, this stuff is a smell. Let me tell you. Okay. So we got all that one taken care of. Let's go ahead and set that one right there. Let's grab the next one. And this one is one of the weird ones that I didn't show you guys real quick. So this one, I need to bend that one back in place. There it is. So this was a flat piece that we took. I didn't do a great job of bending with some of these. But then you bent up the piece, you like lifted it up and bent it, and then you had to glue it down. Um, yeah, I didn't do the greatest job. Yeah, Dash. They have it now. When I was trying to get this back in, when was I trying to purchase this? I think it was like probably early April when I was trying to buy it. For whatever reason, the only place that had it was in France. And yeah, they were just out everywhere. Like every single place online was out, and yeah, it was just one of those things. And so that's why I was so surprised. I was actually messaging back and forth with Dave, Relentless Storm, and like I was like, dude, is there anything else that I could use? And he was like, well, you can use the spray can, like decant it, and that was like an option that I was 100% thinking about doing. Um, but then that wasn't even like the rattle can wasn't even available really anywhere, and so that's why it was such a big deal for me when I went to just the hobby town and it was just right there. I bought two of them. God knows if I'll ever use both of them, but maybe for this model I will. Okay, so I'm gonna go around to the other side, and once again, as this is a protectant, I want to make sure to get all of the photo etch because we are not going to be painting this part down here. And I want to make sure that this photo etch doesn't eventually over time rust or get brittle or chip. Okay. We'll set that one right there. Let's go ahead and grab our next one. And I'm going to put these two little labels just with these two sitting right here. I can't remember which is which, but I don't want to lose track. But yeah, this stuff is a smell. Whew. It's finally not a like there's other like Todd was just relishing it yesterday, by the way. It was like 70 degrees or so. Todd was just loving life. I imagine somebody from Phoenix would love it here. Prior to that, though, it had been like in the 80s, 90s, and in the hundreds for probably 3 straight weeks. And for us, that is very rare. And right now, I don't have a fan running for the first time in forever, and it's great. But I can tell you right now, this stuff is nice. It's real nice. The fumes aren't getting to me at all, guys. Don't worry, everything's fine. I'm fine. You're fine. How are you? All right, that piece is done. Let's go ahead. Oh God, and flip it around. Grab a little label for it. One of the things that I'm doing for green strawberry as well is the instructions that they gave with this model. It says it's for the AMT kit, but the lie detector test determined that's a lie. They basically just repurposed the Revell kit um, photo etch for this model for the AMT, and so the so stupid. I have really struggled with building this kit because the instructions just make zero sense. I'm having to like decipher. So one of the things that I've been working with Green Strawberry on is getting their instruction sets proper. And I'm contemplating. I've done some of it actually, which is like disturbing. I can't believe I found time for it. But I have modified the stock kit instructions to include the green strawberry instructions in line with where I'm building it. And I'm kind of following along, and I want to see what green strawberry has to say about that. So obviously, AMT might not be happy with it. Probably can't be an official thing, but I could create a Dropbox, and if people wanted to use that, it'd be a good resource for them. So, but this kit is a really difficult fruit pack to put together, um, and I've heard that from a lot of different people now at this point. So, but difficult often means rewarding when done, and that's what I'm hoping for here. So, and so far so great. Like this model's taken a little while for me to put together, and it's probably going to take me a while still. But I've learned a lot during this. What else do I have? I also have the Aztec dummy masking kit for this model. Um, but the Aztec dummy masking kit is smart, and Lou knows what he's doing, and so it is set up for paint chipping to get the orangey yellow color decals on the side of the Razor Crest. Um, it is it's basically you want to chip it, and it's set up for chipping. So it's not a typical Aztec dummy mask where you reverse, mask basically, go high to low. This one you're going to be masking around and using the masking to protect the paint while you're spraying chipping compound and what have you. So it's fascinating. I bought it really early on, thinking I needed to do it early while I was doing painting, but obviously, once you read through the instructions, it's less important for that. So, yeah. All right, that one's done. That's the same metal primer you use. Yeah, Ken. I remember you saying I should use that, and I think I remember commenting. Yeah, I use it. I just kind of did it off camera. So, yeah, it's. I hear great things about that. We can do difficult things. Yes. Yeah, you're right, Andrew. We can do difficult things. A Jar Jar and Carbonite would be pretty awesome. Hmm. Wonder if there's a 70-second scale Jar Jar and Carbonite somewhere. That is a fantastic idea. I support this 100%. Yeah, it's one of those things where oh, Jordan and his controversial takes on Star Wars. Um, I don't hate Jar Jar Binks. I don't. I don't hate him. As a character, I don't hate him. Um, Once you understand what the character is supposed to be, um, I don't hate him. Like I hate how it was. I hate how it was executed. Um, but what happened to the actor who portrayed him, with all the fan backlash, it was just awful. It made me really like feel bad for the loner. So to see him get his redemption in the last season of Mando was really really great. Um, he played the sabered hand, the Jedi Master who saved Grogu from the Purge. Very very cool, very very cool. Um, but I don't mind Jar Jar. There's a lot of hate for him, and I get why. Trust me, I get it. Misa understand, but also as well, if you look at the Phantom Menace, he wasn't really utilized after that. Like he was this kind of like a wasted character in the rest of the prequel trilogy. But um, George Lucas was trying to create a kids movie for um, Phantom Menace, and all of us adults kind of had a problem with that at the time. Jar Jar, yeah, exactly, not the actor's fault, and that's exactly the thing, and it was awful what they did to him. Ahmed Best is a fantastic actor. What he did with that kids star, I didn't watch much of it, but I did watch some of it. The kids like Temple of Adventure type Star Wars show where he played the sabered hand. Um, it was a very cool show, and like of course, it's not the actor's fault, and it was just the character, of course. But once again, like once you understand that, like it was supposed to be a character for kids, and it works as a character for kids, and nowadays we get the Darth Jar Jar thoughts and all of those things, So I don't mind. I don't mind Jar Jar as a character. I did when I was younger, but when I was younger, I think when the Phantom Menace came out, I was 99, so I was a sophomore in high school is when that one came out. Yes, Eric, Jar Jar will turn out to be the true Sith Lord. That is so correct. Yeah, what's funny is like yeah, I just don't mind him. Like I don't mind the character, I just don't mind him. I don't mind a lot of like the cheesiness of Star Wars. All right, here's another controversial take. I'll just go ahead and drop on you guys. My favorite movie of the sequel trilogy was The Last Jedi. And I've told people that, and they're like, "Are you kidding me?" Um, it just was. I hated The Rise of Skywalker. I actually haven't been to a movie since. Like I've seen plenty of movies, but I actually haven't been to the movie theater since seeing The Rise of Skywalker. Um, God, I hated that movie. Force Awakens was fantastic movie. I thought it was a great Star Wars movie. Great reintroduction into the franchise. Um, but I felt like what Ryan Johnson was trying to do was tell a story, and one that was, I think where it went wrong was that it wasn't JJ's story. Like Ryan Johnson was kind of given this part like that he wanted to tell, but the problem with the sequel trilogy is there was no plan. They had no plan for the storytelling of that story. And so the directors all went into it with a complete different idea. So yeah, it's one of those things where the idea that Ryan Johnson had, was great. I really love the idea of Luke just not giving a shit. Like I really liked that idea. I thought that Mark Hamill absolutely 100% nailed that part. And my favorite part in all of the sequel trilogy is the part where Yoda burns down that ancient tree on Octo, and Luke's like the sacred text, and Yoda's like, yeah, real thrilling reads were they, and it was a great scene, and like just the movie got a lot of hate. I actually will admit that I hated it at the time too. So, but in hindsight, I really do appreciate what Ryan Johnson was trying to do, and we'll see if he actually gets to make his trilogy. There's a lot of back and forth of whether or not he's going to be able to. I'm curious what he could do with an actual Star Wars story. I felt disappointed with him redoing the Battle of Hoth 2. I feel like, the what's the name of the planet? I can't think of the name of the planet right now with the red sand and all. Yeah, where they were in uh episode 8. But wow, Star Wars. I don't know. I can't think of the name of the planet off the top of my head, but yeah, I do. I regret that as well. I feel like they should have stayed away from as much of that as possible because it was interesting. Like the whole idea, the whole concept of Luke being so powerful that he's able to take his consciousness and move it across the galaxy, which ultimately is what kills him, right? The sheer power, like no Jedi or Sith had ever done that. And the sheer power in the Force to be able to do so is kind of insane. And so that whole concept is fantastic. If they had just moved it to a different place, like I remember seeing it in the theaters going, are they in Hoth? Please don't be on Hoth. Like just because Leia's there, please don't be on Hoth. So yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. It was probably my only knock. And then I would say my favorite part of the Rise of Skywalker was the when Kylo got redeemed at the very end of the when he got redeemed, and when him and Rey were fighting together. It was a pretty cool scene. That was a pretty cool scene. But the thing for me is with Star Wars and modern Star Wars and modern Star Trek and storytelling in general, um, as much as I am a super fan of the things, I'm also realistic enough to know that not everything is going to be how this guy wants it to be. And so let's go ahead and zoom back out here real fast. So with that being said, all of our parts are photo etched while I stand up on my soapbox. But with that being said, like one of the things that I'm able to do is just kind of watch a stupid movie and enjoy it. Like I don't get so invested in it. And when it comes to Star Trek and Star Wars, what we grew up with, it doesn't exist anymore. Well, it does. It exists, and that's for us. And if we want to enjoy the new stuff, we can. If we want to watch it so we can know to try to get to understand it, we can. My love of Star Wars came back through the show The Clone Wars. Um, it was available to me on Netflix before Disney Plus became a thing, and I started watching the Clone Wars. I remember watching a little bit when I was, in my 20s or so, and then, probably within the last, I would say 2014, right around the time that Disney bought Star Wars, I started watching Clone Wars and then Rebels, and it was those two shows, those two cartoons that brought me back into Star Wars. And then that's the same time that The Force Awakens comes out. And then, of course, me being the super nerd that I am, focus. Me being the super nerd that I am, I'm going to absorb. Why is this not focusing? Um, yeah, I really enjoyed like that time, and I got into like the lore of it and started reading all the books. Like I've got every single Star guys. I have every single canon Star Wars book that's been made since 2015, and I've read them all. Either listened to them or read them physically. I was eating it up, and as the person who really, really loved the lore of Star Trek and everything like that, to be able to have and Stargate. To have a new thing to kind of like dig my nose into again, stuff that I loved when I was a kid, was pretty amazing. So that's kind of how I got back into it. it. And so I was able to enjoy the sequel trilogy for what it was. It's not a perfect story. They didn't have any idea what they were trying to do. Disney was just trying to cash grab. Disney is cash grabbing, right? Like it's what they're going to do. So my view and philosophy is very simple. If they're going to put out Star Wars and Star Trek, please just put out something that I enjoy. If you're going to have 10 shows, have one that I enjoy, please. That's all I want. And I will watch the rest. I watched The Acolyte. I hated it at first and I gave it a chance. And at the very end, I was left a little intrigued by what they were trying to do. Now that I understand the story that they're trying to tell, I'm like, okay, I will give you a chance. Right. And so that's the thing. I was like, I'm going to look at things objectively, and I don't like necessarily dig too hard or care too much, because in the end, freaking Star Wars, man, it's fake. I got to pay bills. I have a job. I've got a relationship. I've got friends. I've got this whole out of focus camera thing going on right now. And so, there's so much that there is to do. The last thing I need to do is like actively give a shit about something that's not real. And if I don't like it, guess what? Don't watch it. It's simple. So, anyway, let's go back, take a look at chat. Um, Eric is saying, "Holy hell, I feel old now. Saw the original as a young kid." Yeah, I mean, I was born in '82, so I did go to the theater with my parents when Return of the Jedi came out. Obviously, I do not remember any of that. But then I was a junior, no, sophomore in high school when the Phantom Menace came out. So yeah, I graduated in 2001. Um, I enjoyed the call Poe made to the Star Destroyer he was attacking. Oh, so in the sequel trilogy, there were two characters that they completely wasted. Two characters just absolutely wasted, and that was Poe and that was Finn. Both of those characters were fantastic together. My favorite part in the Force Awakens is when Finn is broken out by Poe or whatever it was, and they break out together, and like Poe looks at him and he goes, "We're doing this." Like I loved that moment, and the scenes that they had together were fantastic. They really did waste those characters. And, Oscar Isaac is a fantastic actor. So is John Boyega. They really did kind of waste those characters. Yeah, and in the opening scene with Poe, just like prank calling the Star Destroyer was just fantastic. I loved it. Ah, Eric's asking, did I ever play through the Star Wars: The Old Republic MMO game? I have not. So I played Knights of the Old Republic. God, just as recently as probably a year ago is when I beat it last time. It was right before, about a year and a half ago now. It was right before Star Wars Jedi Survivor came out, so I wound up playing through that one, and then of course Knights of the Old Republic 2. I never got into the MMO because I was playing Star Trek Online, which I still currently play. I've been playing Star Trek Online since release in 2010. Not with the same character. Unfortunately, I've lost computers and things over the years. Computers have died and everything, and I can't remember certain passwords. But I've been playing Star Trek Online since 2010, so 14 years. Holy crap. My God. Well, on that sad, depressing ass note, let's go ahead and remove the block from the very bottom down here on our resin piece so we can go ahead and get this painted up. It's time to bust out the airbrush. I can't believe I've been like going on for an hour now and you guys are still watching. Andrew, I'm going to put this up on my screen right now because I feel this in my soul. I bought a PS5 last year, and I bought it for Jedi Survivor. And I beat Jedi Survivor and played through a couple other video games, had a lot of fun. And then this thing happened exactly 1 year ago today. Actually, I received my first Enterprise D shipment from Fan Home, and I decided to record it and start doing this YouTube thing. So yeah, as soon as that happened, it's a lot of my video game playthroughs have suffered. I actually have played a couple of video game playthroughs on my channel. I'm halfway through Star Wars Squadrons, and I'm halfway in the story mode on Star Wars Squadrons, and I'm probably only a third of the way through Star Trek Resurgence. And I've been able to actually like get things done in a proper order, and I actually want to reintroduce that to my channel. Well, thank you, Ken. Happy anniversary. Yep. First video was released 3 days from now, a year ago. Yeah. Holy shit. Wow. Oh, that's crazy. Obviously, like with I had released a few podcasts. I think Matt and I had done 13 podcasts before I released my first model video, and it's been a year though, so freaking crazy. Oh God. But yeah, I really want to get back into finishing those stories because they're great stories, they're great games. And I finally can like build and do all the things now. I figured out a way of running my life that includes all the things and has time for the things, if that makes any sense. And so, video games are super easy to record playthroughs on, provided you don't die a bunch. So, yeah, and that was kind of like my one excuse. Like, I was able to play my video games and put it on the channel, and so it was like this twofold thing that I was able to do, which was pretty cool. Um, and it's crazy to think, like now that I think about it, it's been a year since I started releasing videos on a regular basis. At one point, for 3 months between January and March, for 3 straight months, I was releasing 6 to 7 videos per week. And it's crazy to think that in 1 year I've produced over 200 videos. It's insane. A community play session. So Eric's saying a community play session with an MMO would be interesting. Hmm. I think that that's something that we could arrange. I think I will start a conversation inside of the gaming channel on Discord. So let's talk. I'm super curious. My PC, I've never tried to game with. It handles editing, it handles recording, it handles all of this stuff just fine. I've got a super, like, I had a stupid strong internet connection, so that's like no big deal. But I've never put my PC through it. But I do have a Xbox and a PS5, so I'm super down for it. So enough talking. I'm going to keep talking. And Andrew commented 00000. I totally agree. I can't disagree with you at all. Why are you not focusing? Man, there are some days where this camera just is not having it. All right. I am going to take my razor saw and I am going to cut this off of its block, and the little line, you'll know where you're going to be cutting as the form kind of stops right there. So at the end of these posts and right back along there. So I'm going to try to carefully cut, and I might go silent for a quick second because I don't want to screw this up. But this is me, so I already tried screwing it up right there. God. Razor saws and me are not. I've done some work. I'll say that. I've done some work. I know I should be wearing a face mask. Hold on. I got to put on a face mask real quick. Working with a resin piece real quick, and I don't want to put myself to an early grave by breathing in some resin. Ah, nice. So here's mask face or mask voice. Keyboard fell on the floor. I love it. Eric used to run a drunk rating group in WoW for a lot of years called Effed Up Fridays. Oh, I love it. One of the games that I've really wanted to play with other people, because every time I play it by myself, I just die and die and die and die. That is DayZ. I would love to play DayZ with people who know how to play it and aren't gonna die with that would die with me. That game is so much fun, but I always die. Because some of those people that play that game are just absolutely insane. Oh, cut the pieces with water on them, huh? Prevent dust. I like it. Because I don't like wearing face masks. Imagine what the pandemic was like for me. All right, got my little squirt bottles here. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of water on there. Very cool, Ken. I love it. What a great idea. A great idea. I love it. Still doesn't change the fact that this sucks to cut. So Dash is saying was kind of into the Star Wars Old Republic online, like the Jedi and the Bounty Hunter. Well, between that and World of Warcraft, yeah, I couldn't play both. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like MMOs are a very interesting thing. Like, they're all kind of the same for the most part. Like they're MMOs, right? So it's not like it's the variation of the game is too much. Like the variations are going to be too much. Like it's literally going to be, okay, I need you to go pick up these three things, then come back, and then go pick up these three things, and then come back, and then pick up these three things, and then come back. And it's always the same thing, right? And so, belt sander. Oh man, I know. Unfortunately, right now, my girlfriend is in a class, an online class at the end of the hallway, and so I can't make too much noise. Otherwise, I'd probably bust out the Dremel. She's giving a presentation right now, actually. There we go. But this is getting off easily enough. So I'm going to hear her giving the presentation right now. Let's try not to break the pieces here real quick. I say is, oh, Dash and Eric are talking. Yeah, my Dremel is also, it would be a little loud right now. Like normally it wouldn't be a big deal, but like I said, she's giving a presentation right now. I don't want to disturb that. So she works 10-hour days and then comes home for class for 3 hours. It's I don't know how she does it. Insane. So much more motivated than I am. So Todd and her having a good laugh last night. As figured. And unfortunately, Rebecca is very allergic to cats, and so she wasn't able to come up. But Todd hung out for a couple minutes up here, obviously. But yeah, Todd and her definitely hit it off. There we go. I just got to get through those things and don't break. Nice. Got it. There's our piece all taken care of. And get that off. All right. I'm going to go ahead, and the beauty of paper towel is I'm going to go ahead and remove all this wet stuff. Get that off to the side, and let's get this cleaned up. Ken, fantastic tip. Thank you very much for that. These are fantastic. They're like $3 or $4 on Amazon. Definitely recommend having one of these next to your bench. Nice. Looks like Eric and Dash may have crossed paths before in various games. Yeah, I'm thinking about. I have a couple days off here, so my goal for tomorrow is to completely assemble all this stuff. Get the Razor Crest taken care of. Get that episode produced for Saturday, and then let's see, the Lake Monster runabout, impulse intake, and impulse engine clear resin parts are arriving tomorrow. So I was thinking about working on some more of that. And Todd was able to program a Arduino for me for the Enterprise C. So I'm going to try to get that done as well. So kind of a hope that I can get some things done this weekend thing. Or I'll just sit on my ass and do nothing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab my racer. It's cleaned up real quick. The resin that Green Strawberry uses is a really, really good resin. I've used a few resin pieces. If Paragraphics Photo Etch was matched up with Green Strawberry's resin, man, they'd take over the world, the whole world. Ooh, nice, Ken. Ken just said he finished priming his TIE fighter today. Eric asked me if I've ever tried Destiny 2. I have not. For the most part, so I have like super ADD, and so like I have super ADD, and I have so many freaking interests and hobbies and all of that, and this hobby has definitely, I would say, taken over everything. But one of my other passions in life is cars. I really love cars. I've taken a bunch of racing classes. I've owned some fast cars in my day. I've gotten myself into a lot of trouble with cars, and so I don't own fast cars anymore. Um, so I really love cars. I love going fast. I drive fast. It's not exactly a flex or a brag or anything like that, but it's just how it is. And so when I play video games, it's primarily racing video games that I play. Obviously, a lot of Gran Turismo I play. Forza is my favorite racing franchise of all time. I haven't played in 6 months. Forza Horizon 5. Like I haven't played since Forza Motorsport came out, and I went and logged in just recently to see how my world ranking was, and I'm still, after 8 months of not playing, I'm still in the top 2% in the world. So I'm really good at racing games. Jedi Survivor, I'm currently in the process. I think I'm on the last boss. I am currently on the last boss on a Grandmaster playthrough, so it is the hardest difficulty. Um, that game is probably my favorite video game of all time. I'm trying 100% it right now on Grandmaster. There has only been like I think 0.4% of people who played the game have 100%ed it on Grandmaster, and I'm trying to be one of those. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of into that. So Destiny though has always been one of those games where it's like kind of been on the peripheral. Um, and I don't know too much about it, but I do know that it's got quite the following, and they do a great job of supporting that game, which is really nice. Ken saying he thinks he will try to go for a subtle modeled effect on the outside. Yeah, that'd be really, really good. Especially the way that you approach that. I think with the way you do all of that, like it's going to be perfect. Yeah, I can't wait either. I'm 2 videos behind. Once again, the hard part for me, and I'll just be real, with all the videos that I do produce and all that, and all the builds and everything, I have a hard time like staying caught up on other people's builds. And so when I go to bed is when I tend to watch things if I'm not just immediately passing out. So Ken, I'm definitely gonna get caught up on that build soon. So okay, that part is taken care of. I want to take a look at my instructions real quick. Make sure that, let's see here. I have these all on the web as well, but want to see what other resin pieces I need to remove. Looks like parts 11. Let's grab part 11. And where did I put all those? Did I actually put it back in the box? Wow. Amazing. Amazing. So part 11, I believe there are 3 parts 11. Andrew, 100%. There's no way you can keep on everyone's videos. Like, I remember, like, you know what? Being a content creator is so freaking amazing. I love it. I love it. I love being a content creator. But one of the things that sucks about it is it's hard to keep up on your friends' progress. Like all you guys, like we're all like part of this modeling community. And the work that you guys do inspires me to get better at the work that I do. And man, let me tell you, it's tough. It's tough not being able to keep track and keep up with all of them. So yeah, I agree. Uh, Eric just posted a pic in general Discord for me. Let's go ahead and pop over there. Over in general. Oh my. That is amazing. Dude, I love stingrays. Jealous. I had a E36 M3 for a few years. More than a few years. I probably owned that thing for, God, how long did I have that thing? I had the E36 M3. I put 220,000 miles on it, is how long I had that thing for. And yeah, I got myself into some trouble. So I received an inheritance. Unfortunately, my grandparents passed. And so one of the things I decided to treat myself to, and treat myself to, I don't know why. God, if I had that money now, let me tell you. Boy, I'll tell you what. But I took myself, so I took 3 classes. I took a dirt fish drifting class, or rally class, basically. But a majority of it was focused around drifting. And then I took a police sponsored offensive and defensive driving class. And then I've taken some rally sport classes as well. yeah, I did the Tom Petty experience one time, which was pretty cool. I once again love going fast, and I had my BMW, and I busted drifting through town, and I'll just say this: wasn't allowed to drive for a little while. Well, we'll just go ahead and leave that there. It took my license for a couple of years. That's how much drifting I was doing. It was nutty. Haven't done it since, and I honestly don't buy myself cars anymore that do that. So it's unfortunate, but wow, that went flying. Um, yeah, I just don't buy myself cars anymore that do that. I tend to stick with S. Oh my god, SUVs that drive quick. So I currently have a Jeep, little turbocharged Renegade. It's not fast, but it's quick. It's funny as Todd rented a Jeep and parked right next to me in my parking lot, and the cars look basically similar. So funny. Yeah, got myself in a little bit of trouble when I was younger. We'll just leave it there. Wow, that could have been really, really bad. That just went flying off there. My God. Uh, Jesus. Could have got me right in the eye. Right in the eye. So yeah, I love cars, man. I love them. Super into baseball. Um, like I said, I ADD to the core. Um, I was a high school and junior Olympic baseball, softball, and fast pitch umpire for 3 or 4 years. It was 3.5 years. Um, Officiating junior sports is a very satisfying and fun thing to do. Um, Really fun to get to serve the community in some way. Can't really do it too much these days with work and all that. And kind of, it's really uber competitive, and you have to be available every single weekend. And I'm just not about that. Not about that action, boss. As Marshawn Lynch used to say back in the day here in the Seattle area. So yeah, super into sports. Huge Seattle Mariners fan, so of course I'm always disappointed in life. Um, I do like football. Seattle Seahawks fan. Getting to see them win the Super Bowl a decade ago was pretty cool. As a lifelong fan, that was a very cool thing to see happen. Eric says, my dad used to bring home cars from the GM test track to play with. Oh, the fastest, scariest vehicle I ever drove was the SSR S10. Okay, I had a buddy who had a GMC Cyclone, and that thing was nuttier than a squirrel turd. I tell you, my God. There's only been two cars in my life that have ever scared me: the Cyclone and my buddy's '89 RX-7. That thing, I no, I'll never get an RX-7 again. Just a stock one, what it's capable of doing is out of control, and any idiot can buy one of those cars still. Oh my God. No. All I got to say about that. Ken's asking, do I have any of the Star Wars toys? Kind of, sort of. Let me whip out some of my preciousness real quick. Let's see. I don't really have many toys. Let's see here. I have got a couple of figures, or as Ian says, figures. And that's yeah, really. If I had room for toys, that'd be amazing. I just have a few things up on the shelves. So first up, I have Grogu. and he's kind of creepy. Actually, let's set down some of our things here. Uh, so when you touch Grogu's head, is he? It's kind of cool. I really enjoy that. Chase, absolutely. I'm a huge Kraken fan. I'm Canadian, so of course I love hockey. Huge Kraken fan. It was a little bit disappointing of a season this year. But year number 3 made playoffs in year number 2. We are not going to be the Golden Knights, and so that's totally fine. The Kraken, very cool. The fact that Jerry Bruckheimer owns the team, the production value. I've been to a couple games. The production value out of control. Like it's a theatrical experience. It's amazing. Um, I have a Luke toy, just like these like $5 toys that you find at like Walmart or something like that. Um, and then I have little Grogu. He used to sit up here when I was making videos very early on, and I might bring that back actually. Little Grogu action, and then like an idiot, I opened a Black Series figure. This is one of the archers from Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So, or no, from Fallen Order. So, yeah. Um, that's about it for toys. Yeah, that's basically what I have. I used to have a bunch of stuff when I was a kid. Obviously, um, uh, C'est la vie. I wish that I had a lot of the stuff that I had when I was a kid. I used to have a lot of the Jenner toys, or the Kenner toys, excuse me, Jenner toys. Oh my God, not the Kardashians. Excuse me. So, yeah, I used to have a lot of those in the packages. I used to have a lot of the Star Trek figures. I used to have a lot of the Star Trek, um, like the Playmates toys and stuff like that. Uh, but a lot of that's kind of gone by the wayside. I used to have a 6 scale Sauron from Lord of the Rings. I don't know what happened to that. I was just thinking about that the other day. Um, yeah, that's about it. I wish I had some more. I wish I had some more of the stuff from when I was a kid. Yes, Donnie. Hey, Donnie. I do mean figures. How you doing tonight, Donnie? Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where Star Trek has been my favorite since I was a kid. Like Star Trek was the thing that I watched with my dad, and Star Wars was kind of always there as a thing that I would enjoy. Um, but like I said, it wasn't until I started watching the Clone Wars and Rebels um, on Netflix that I really start to enjoy Star Wars again. What Dave Filoni is doing with Star Wars is fantastic. Ahsoka was one of my favorite Star Wars shows. Like Rebels, it was. If you guys are into Star Wars at all and are willing to give the animation a try, Rebels is an absolutely fantastic story. Um, and Ahsoka is basically just the continuation of that. And it was a great show. Really, really loved it. Um, and Kenobi, I freaking loved Kenobi. I loved that show. Um, yeah, I don't even know where I was going with all that. I'm just rambling. Um, but yeah, it's Star Trek was always at the core of everything though for me. Like it's the thing that I loved the most when I was a kid. And I'm actually gonna make a little mark on the bottom of this one real fast. This one is part number 15, which is exactly the same as part number 14. So I'm just gonna take my Sharpie and just put a little mark on the bottom to let me know which one is part number 15 because it matters for side. Um, but yeah, Star Trek was the thing that I was always obsessed with the most when I was a kid. Um, my very first favorite show was Knight Rider. Favorite cartoon was He-Man. Then my first like Knight Rider was like my first thing that I was super passionate about. I remember my dad bought a Hot Wheel. Oh, Bad Batch. Sorry, as an aside, Bad Batch is the best, the best Star Wars. That's where I was going with that. Bad Batch for me is the absolute best Star Wars has done since Disney has taken over. I think. I love the clones. The clones are a great story. Um, God, just rambling out here. Uh, yeah, Star Trek was the thing that, and Deep Space Nine was my favorite show. Didn't get into Enterprise when it came out. It was not until probably 2012, 2013 started watching Enterprise. Um, just didn't care for it that much when it first came out. Overly sexualized. But nowadays, I don't mind so much. There's some great images to see in Star Trek Enterprise, and so yeah. Oh yeah, no, the Larry series is absolutely fantastic. Oh God, love it. Make sure Tom not missing a message from Todd. Nice. Okay, just want to make sure. Um, yeah, the Larry ones are hilarious. A lot of those parody ones, like the ones where Qui Gon and Obi-Wan react to different things that are happening in Star Wars, uh, just slay me every single time. Donnie says Star Trek had always been my favorite too. Probably seen TOS Trek all the way through 10 or 15 times. Yeah, I mean, I I've seen TOS about that many times. Next Gen, I remember watching it. Like I was watching it when it first came out, and I remember watching it, just watching it and watching it and watching it. I still watch it. Um, DS9, like I said, was my favorite show. Voyager is the one that I didn't give much time to. I didn't give much time to Voyager. Although Todd's been watching it, and so he's been like, "Yeah, give it a try." And my buddy Matt, who also helped me start this channel, has also been saying the same thing. So, Donnie, no, Todd is traveling off with Rebecca. They're doing their own thing. Um, we kind of got spoiled, Todd being able to stop by and all that jazz. Like once again, the whole point of Todd's trip was for him and Rebecca to get out of the Phoenix sun in the middle of July. And just because I'm here happened to be a bit of a perk that went along with that. But no, it was great. It was great seeing him, and there's a chance that I will see him either tomorrow night or on Saturday before he leaves. So, um, yeah, Eric, definitely check out the Larry series. They're freaking hilarious. Okay, let's see here. We got all of our parts removed off of their bases. Let's see how we're doing here with our photo etch primer. We are dry. So I'm not going to get to doing these pieces today because I only got about a half hour or so left, and probably even just a little bit less than that. So let's go ahead and get these sprayed up, and I'm going to paint them in a. Thinking about doing. Let me look at the reference photo real fast. I have the. Where's my mouse? A set of reference photos for this. I picked up the Art of the Mandalorian season 1, and I took some images off of that. So let's see here. Just trying to get my color right. I want to make sure that I'm getting all of my colors set properly. So for those along the wall, yep, I think gunmetal is going to be the color that we're going to use. Um, yeah, Donnie, I like all the Star Trek series. You know, Picard season 1 and 2 was, when it came out, good. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. When 1 and 2 came out, it was good. It was Star Trek, it was Patrick Stewart. We got to see a little bit of some of the classic characters. I really liked Q in season number 2. Um, but it didn't feel quite like Star Trek. Picard season 3, some of the best Star Trek ever made, I think. um, yeah, Strange New Worlds is fantastic. I love Strange New Worlds. Anson Mount is uh, a fantastic captain. Great actor, great human being, which is pretty cool. And so, um, yeah, I love Strange New Worlds. I can't wait for the next season. I know they took some risks last season. I know a lot of people don't care for the musical episodes, but I like them taking swings for things. Have fun with your show. Take a chance. I really loved the Buffy musical episode. I loved the Strange New Worlds. The Subspace Rhapsody episode was fantastic. People hate the Klingon pop. I loved it. Once again, I'll go back to what I said a little while ago. I can watch something without watching with a critical eye because I just want to enjoy what I'm watching as opposed to like picking it apart. It doesn't make any sense to me to do so. So now, we're talking about Discovery as a whole. I enjoy the show. There are a lot of parts that I don't care for. The touchy feely, huggy nature of the show, I don't really care for that much. But that being said, what they did in the final season of Discovery, it's a shame. It's really a shame. They finally figured out the formula. They figured out how to do those episodes, how to make a serialized story fun, right? Like the problem with Strange New Worlds and Picard and all those things is they're trying to accomplish one thing during a season. A lot of the gold that came out of Star Trek was those bottle episodes, the episodes that, like, say for instance, in Enterprise, ship in a bottle. The episode where Trip and or Commander Tucker and oh god, Lieutenant Reed are stuck in the shuttle pod or shuttle pod one, and that was an entire ship in a bottle episode, and it's some of the best Star Trek ever made. So you get those like fantastic episodes, but then you also get the episodes of the Next Generation where Loxana Troy is in a mud bath with Alexander, and there's Michael Keane running around with makeup on his face, and it's just like, please don't. So it's kind of like, what do you do? Um, so yeah, wow. Without a producer, I will just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. um, so Eric says Picard season 3 really set up the chance to see spinoff of Seven of Nine. I think that legacy Star Trek legacy ship has sailed. By the time that, like, they had filmed Picard season 3 in 2021 during the pandemic, and it didn't release until what, last year, early this year. I can't remember now. This has been about a year now. And so everybody had kind of moved on. I really hope we get it because I really love Seven of Nine. The character arc that she got in Picard. I really, what they did in Picard for Seven of Nine's character was fantastic. All 3 seasons saw Seven of Nine become a whole character, and that's really how I look at Picard as a whole. If you look at Picard as Picard's story of his swan song and Seven of Nine becoming the captain of the Enterprise, it's kind of like you have one former Borg and one former Borg going in different directions, but tied together with the ship named Enterprise. It's really cool. And so when you look at it that way, like how they treated the characters, fantastic. But season 3, oh my god, dude. Oh my god. um I what I didn't like about Discovery season 4, Species 10C was too benign. Like that story would have been great as like a half story, like a half season story. The stuff with Book and Tarka, the stuff with all of the different decisions that Starfleet has to make as they're getting back out into the galaxy. Fantastic storytelling. It really was fantastic storytelling. But the Species 10C just saying, "Oh, we're so sorry" at the very end just kind of felt anticlimactic. And it was after the anticlimactic end to season 3 where the whole burn was caused by one dude crying really loud. Like, come on. Like, I'm sorry, but like, just don't anymore. So, yeah, that's kind of what I felt about season 4. Um, so yes, indeed, Eric. So Eric asks, wasn't there supposed to be a spinoff of Discovery with the Starfleet Academy series? And that is happening. They're getting ready to shoot here very soon. So that is 100% the thing that's going to happen. And it's likely that's how we're going to continue to get the 32nd century. We're not done seeing Burnham and the crew. It's likely that we're going to continue to see Saru and all the rest of them, and so which makes me happy. Like I don't like all those characters are fantastic, and I want to see more of them, and so that's likely how we'll see it. Like one of the favorite things about season 5, not to spoil it if you guys haven't seen it or are interested in seeing it or what have you. The first officer that they got, Saru takes an ambassador spot in Starfleet or within the Federation, and they give a new first officer spot to a guy named Rayner, and he was such a fantastic character, just a fantastic character. Like done, it was what was his name? It was Callum something Callum. Anyway, he's a fairly well known um kind of bit actor, I guess, so to say, and he's been in a lot of things. I saw him in some Supernatural just recently, um, and just a fantastic actor. And he plays a first officer who is basically Burnham when she was first getting going, and it, such a great way of forcing Burnham to look at herself through his eyes, and fantastic. It was great. Like once again, season 5, Donnie, yes, Rayner was fantastic. Season 5 was a great season of Star Trek. I can't say anything bad about it, and I won't. It ended fantastically. The reshoots at the very end, they handled it beautifully, and they tied up a loose end that you didn't expect to get tied up, and yeah, it was fantastic. I can't complain at all. Um, but it just ended a little too short, too soon. But think about it this way: think about what the pandemic did to Hollywood. They all had to stop for a year, and every single a year and a half, basically, or it was truncated or what have you. And every single Star Trek season had, except for Enterprise, had gotten 7 years. Discovery has been on for 7 years. Lower Decks has been on for 7 years. It just takes time to produce these episodes these days. And so it doesn't surprise me that we're not going to get any more of them. And so it's a little disappointing, but with Starfleet Academy taking place and, they got Rachel Hunter to play the captain. I think that that's going to be a fantastic choice for a captain for a show. Rachel Hunter is a fantastic actress. So I've got hopes. We got season 5 of Lower Decks, which is going to unfortunately be the last one. But Mike McMahon has said that there's a reason why they're ending the show, and it's because I think that the junior officers are no longer going to be junior officers. Like they've all been promoted to lieutenant junior grades and what have you, and so um, it doesn't make sense that they're to be lower deckers because they're not lower deckers. And he's saying watch out for spinoffs. So, and that's what I'm going to hope out for. And I'll be honest, we have Star Trek, we have new Star Trek, we have Star Wars and new Star Wars. And both series are producing multiple shows at a time, or both franchises are producing multiple shows at a time. And at no point in the 60 years that Star Trek has been around and in the 50 years that Star Wars has been around has that happened. This is a golden time to be a nerd, my friends. And I hate when people like, so Line in the Stars, this logo right here, right there, and right there, underneath there, is the Star Trek logo and the Star Wars logo. And one of my goals when I created this channel was to try to somehow bridge the two. And that's what I wanted to point here is that both franchises are healthy and strong and going, um, and hopefully will last for a little bit longer, you know. But neither franchise can die; they keep coming back, and so I'm going to continue to enjoy what we got going on right now. So I love it. Didn't he play T'Pol and Trip's son in the Enterprise series? Yes, he did. And it was a fantastic. I believe he did. I think that was him. Maybe wrong. I know who you're talking about though. They look almost exactly the same, and I think we might actually be wrong about that one. But that was a fantastic episode as well. That two-parter was super good. Let's see here. Dash, I really don't mind it. That's the world we live in, and we have to be honest with ourselves. Star Trek is Star Trek, and it's always going to do those things. I would prefer that they not throw it in our face as much, but I really don't care. Like I don't care. Everybody's got their own choices in life, and obviously my viewpoint is going to be a little skewed because of where I live. That's fine. Everybody has their own, viewpoints on it. I personally didn't care. It doesn't bother me. Um, so just one of those things that I didn't really think about it too much. But I don't like it being thrown in the face and being the subject of episodes. Just let people be people, and that's all I ask. Try to do this without blowing the pieces around everywhere. The smell of Tamiya in the air. Gotta love it. With no Harry Kim there, you can't keep the ensigns forever. Exactly. Oh my god. Poor Harry Kim. Saw this meme just recently where it was the episode where they promoted all the ensigns from lower decks, and it's Harry Kim standing in the corner glowering, and I just died. I just died. Huge injustice. Garrett Wang has been a huge supporter of Star Trek over the years, though. He's done a lot of voice work for Star Trek Online, and he's done a lot of cool things for the community. I've met him a couple times at a couple different conventions, actually. I haven't met many Star Trek actors, actually. Don't really go to conventions too often. Not enough, at least. And Eric asks a very in-depth, very deep-cut question: which Harry Kim? Alternate universe Harry Kim or OG universe Harry Kim? I'm only focusing on painting one side of this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around to get it from the other side from that angle and get more paint on my finger. Just want to try to get all angles here that we're going to be seeing from this side. The smell of Tamiya in the air. Now we're going to be painting these and wrap it up for the evening. Like I said, just a couple hours tonight. Just wanted to hang out and get a little of my work done. This is usually the things that I'd be doing during the week, like last week with the runabout build. I spent all week just kind of doing little segments like this, working for a couple of hours, and then eating dinner. And Kat and I are going to go for a walk. That's something that we do every night at 7 o'clock, and I'm not going to miss that. So a very beautiful woman will be very upset with me, and I can't have that happening. So I'm going to come around from another side here, try to catch the small four angles. Oh, Andrew, you got to understand, I really love the smell of Tamiya. It's a fantastic smell. The guys all make fun of me because like, oh, you like the smell of alcohol? Yeah, I do. I really, really do. Yeah, the Solares, the Mister, what is it? The Mister Resin. I understand smells very similar to how that smells, and so yeah, no, it's a particular smell, and you and I, my friend, are going to be resining the same amount of windows, just on a completely different way. So, hard out to you, brother. The next shipment of the Enterprise arrives, I think, either tomorrow or on Saturday. Just got into state, so it all depends on when it hits my post office. But uh, I now have 2 shipments that I need to resin the windows of. So I got caught up and did 13 panels, and now I have 8 more that needs to be done. Oh, Donnie, your Star Trek Mechanic Volume 4 came in? That's awesome. All right. I'm just kind of opening up the tabs. This Awada is a fantastic airbrush. My God. I cannot believe I was using that crappy Harbor Freight job. Very nice. Oh, that came out really, really good. All right, so I'm going to move this piece over just a little bit. And the only one of our resin pieces that I want to paint in the gunmetal is going to be the piece of resin that is implied that this is where you make the carbonite, guys. Oh my God, Andrew, you have 2 of those. That's right. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing 2 of those. The fact that Todd is doing a stock one and then his fancy one kind of blows my mind. But then again, Andrew, if someone was paying me to do it, I'd probably change my thought and my viewpoint on that very, very fast. Oh, you want me to paint that? Oh, you want me to do that? Oh, you're going to give me money to do that? Yeah, I'll do that. Sure. Oh, that extra thing you want me to do? That's going to cost more. Okay? Okay. That'd be amazing. Commission work is the ultimate. Uh, I did notice. Okay, so we're done painting. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up. I'm gonna finish up just a little bit before 7, so I'm ready for Kat when she gets out of her class. Um, I did glaze over the JJ Star Trek. And I'll give you my opinion of that too, because we're talking about all Star Treks. The JJ Star Trek. Did I wash my resin before painting? Yes, I did, sir. I washed all of my parts when they first arrived months ago now at this point. Um, the JJ Star Treks brought us Star Trek when we didn't have any. And he introduced Alex Kurtzman to the program, which is now the person who runs Star Trek for us these days. JJ has his place. The movies are fantastic movies. They're fantastic sci-fi movies. They're fantastic action movies, but they're not the greatest Star Trek movies. That being said, super entertaining. Chris Pine is a fantastic Kirk. Simon Pegg as Scotty, nailed it. Zachary Quinto as Spock. When I saw him in season 2 of 24, way back in like 2003, 2004, I'm like, dude, that guy looks just like Spock. And like 6, 7 years later, here we are. When I saw him in American Horror Story, the same thing. Like, I love them. I love those movies. They're a lot of fun. I don't care if we're in darkness, but if you separate it out and you know nothing about Ricardo Montalban's Khan and Star Trek 2 and Space Seed, it is a fantastic sci-fi story. Benedict Cumberbatch, guys, we got Benedict Cumberbatch in Star Trek. Like, seriously. And he did a fantastic job as Khan. Unfortunately, he was just handed a crappy story. So I have no problem with the movie. Star Trek Beyond was a fantastic movie. I really want to build the Franklin. It's a movie that it's a ship that harkens back to Enterprise, which is super cool. Can't forget, thanks Ken, Carl Urban. My God, is a fantastic Bones. And I love them. I love them. They have their place. I want to see them finish up with one more, and I want to see them go into the movie era uniforms and give us that older Kirk, give us that older Spock, give us those characters with a chance to get some character development that happens off screen, so that we get that sort of like Final Front, or not the Final Frontier, but the Undiscovered Country for that series, because we're likely only going to get one more if we ever get it. And had they explained the splintered off universe aspect earlier on and really explained that it doesn't negate the universe we're familiar with, they would have been much better received, Andrew says. And I agree. They just didn't handle it very well. And so, but that being said, it's been years since they've come out. I love how all those characters, John Cho is Sulu, rest you, Anton Yelich, sucks that you passed in the most horrible way possible. He was a great Chekhov. Like they nailed the casting. They nailed the casting for that show. It's a fantastic show. They're fantastic movies. I want to see more. It has its place in Star Trek. It gave us some when we had none. When Enterprise was canceled in 2005, we thought that was it, right? So it has its place. Are you going to catch me saying, "Hey, let's go watch Star Trek Into Darkness"? No. Not happening. But if it's on, I'll watch it. And it's the same thing to be said for Force Awakens. I kind of put the JJs in the same boat as the sequel trilogy. Good movies, fun movies. Am I going to seek them out? Probably not. But will I sit down and watch episodes 1 through 6 all in one sitting? Yes, I will. Will I sit down and watch all the Next Generation movies in one sitting? Yes, I will. Will I watch all the original series movies in one sitting? Yes, I will. But I'm not going to be seeking them out. They're not my favorite. So, yeah. Oh, well, there it is, my friends. I think that's what I got for you all today. Holy crap, it's been 2 hours. And all I've done is that. Oh, man. Oh, yes. Siler, yeah. Oh, God. Fringe was a fantastic show that just got Nosferatu, or whatever it is on the Sci-Fi Channel, though. Oh my God. Okay. Obviously, I can keep going and talking about sci-fi forever. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it here. The plan is next week, I think Kit is going to be delayed for a little bit. I don't know how long. I am due to receive one of the Mike Lane advanced electronics kits, one of the new like the big new Mike Lane mod. I am getting one of those. That should be arriving here soon. So if we do get that, we will do a live stream for that. I want to live stream everything Kit, so that will be that. But I think Kit is delayed because I think the special gift that comes with it is out of stock. And if the special gift is out of stock, they don't give you the parts. Just give me the damn parts. I don't care about the 143rd scale car, the KARR. I don't care. Just give me my damn parts. Anyway, so it's likely to, be a little bit before we come back with another night shift. So until then, however, I'm really enjoying just spending some time with you guys, doing some building on my weekly project, kind of how I've been doing things over the last couple of weeks. I know I gave myself a schedule recently, and I just kind of hate that I did that. I've been doing a couple of part works, and then I kind of work on my one scale model throughout the week. And I really enjoy doing this and sitting down with you guys and chatting and having a good time. I've literally been talking nonstop for 2 hours, and I cannot believe that. It's nuts. It's nuts, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. You guys all hung out with me for a little while, and I just want to say thank you for that. I will be back next week, next Thursday at 5 o'clock Pacific time. So that is going to be 8 or 7, depending on where you are in this country. Or I don't, if you're in Canada, I don't know. Do you guys operate on the same time zones? Of course, I know that, but do you really though? So I'll go ahead and do my little outro right now, and I just want to say thank you guys. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done tonight. Instead, you spent 2 hours with me watching me talk, and I think that's pretty damn cool. Kind of build a model. If you guys have any questions or comments for this stream, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel and haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. My friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful evening in this beautiful world where we happen to be, or morning if you happen to be somewhere else. And until we see each other again, have a great night. Live long and prosper. This is the way. And one man, I got to make my mouse move so I can say and stream on purpose. One man can make a difference. Bye, guys.